Hi guys, it's me, just Machine again. And for this video, that I will be dedicated to Dragon Ball Z vlogs, I shall be covering episode 23 of season 2 of this great, fabulous show. And the name of the episode in question is New Ally, New Problem. And you know what? I think that the name of the episode should be called New Ally 5 New Problems. Because the problem in question in this episode is the Union Force. So they have they should have each individual count on them. So there are 5 of them all together, so it should be 5 new problems. Unless they just want to leave it a collective gaining force, be one problem. One major giant pain in the ass for everybody on their neck. And this episode is quite good because it introduces the threat of the gaining force. Not necessarily in fighting with Zen and Vegeta, but just in general to the overall threat. But being that in one instance they show off the speed of one's character's Barter, which I believe that he's voiced by Chris Sabat, the same guy that does the voice of Vegeta, King Vegeta, Guru, and Piccolo. Yeah, and that's pretty nice too. And he did the voice of, I think, Dildo and I think Jake too. When do him or Goku, I gotta check it the next episode. But yeah, those guys are pretty important and pretty big in the regard of the show, because they're real powerful. And they form a good barrier, a good brick wall for Vegeta to hit on all the time. Now that being said, it's shown in later episodes that Vegeta is fully capable of taking out Gildo by himself with guilt of the Ginyu Force. Because he had no fear of him, and he got personal beef with him from the past, as we'll discuss shortly. And I want to say too that he could probably defeat Jace by himself, even though Jace normally does like a tag team with Berger, for example, just like a purple kamikaze attack and that kind of thing too. So I'm gonna say that he could probably take out Jace by himself. I could be wrong on that, but with the ease of how much Vegeta actually takes him out with like a karate chop or something and maybe a blast or something later on in the series, I'm gonna assume that he can take him out easily in this one too. Possibly with a little bit of effort too, because he gives it he gives it his all when he tried to take on Raccoon, and like I said, Raccoon and the other Genie Force members are pretty much like a brick wall that even Vegeta fears, which is very upscale as to the power scaling of the new threats. What I mean by that is that back on Earth, we like to think that Vegeta was a more powerful character in the bad guy roster. But meanwhile, these Ginyu Force people, with the exception of Gildo and the possible exception of Jace too, people that Vegeta actually fears. And Coon definitely fears him. And he definitely fears Coon. He definitely fears Berter for his speed. And he definitely fears Ginyu for his super abilities. I'm not gonna say that now, but his power too is very, very high. So anyway, we start the episode off with Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta going to his little nest egg of Dragon Balls, and he ends up talking the Earthling into going into the Dragon Ball and joining forces with him to make ways for immortality. And he convinced them that he's the lesser of two evils, with Frieza being the top dog of the whole bunch, and that with his help, they can all defeat Frieza. Whereas it would be a short time coming that Goku will come over and wreck everybody over there, including Ginyu Force, which is the name is actually pretty funny because the Ginyu Force is named after the leader, of course, and it's quite weird that the individual names like Raccoon, Gildo, Gage, Burger, and Ginyu himself all puns on dairy products and cheeses. I don't know which one is which, but I know that Burger is a plural name on the word butter. Yeah, that's kind of obvious at this point, but still, everyone else, I don't know. I think that maybe the word Ginyu is Japanese for milk, I believe. So that's where the name, the Milk Force. Which if you've been watching Dragon Ball Z movies, you know that they milk a lot. But anyway, you also have some copy-paste people too. For example, Jade has a very pronounced Australian accent, and that's a copy-paste from Zaba. He had the accent too, and he was also a lead man too. But you also have in there Raccoon, which is not a copy-paste character yet, but but the person he's gonna be modeled on will be Android 18, not 18, 16, being a very big, strong, muscular, Austrian guy with a red haircut. Now, if that isn't too obvious, it's to pro on the Terminator Model 800 from the Terminator franchise. That's where that comes from. And I think that he was based on the Major Metallicon from Dragon Ball. I'm not sure about how much of a reference that is, but it's still pretty funny. But I like the Funimation dub of his voice because it's just like a complete goofball idiot for some reason, probably over the top. So anyway, we gotta get the Dragon Ball together before the Union Force come in, which they do, and even Vegeta shits himself in that way to take the power level, and they're like, we gotta hurry get to the other balls before the King guys get on and take him back to Frieza. Lord Frieza, I should say. And Yeah, that's a good risk analysis. Hurry up and get my balls together so we can make a wish and make me immoral. But before they get to the stop, the Union Force go over to meet Frieza, and I will talk about this to the little dance inspired by things like Sailor Moon and other group anime like that. And Frieza was like, what the fuck do I pay you guys for? And it's actually pretty funny because he has another moment in which he looked at them like, I don't pay you guys for this. You guys act like children. And that's exactly shit. That's exactly what they are. These poses and these psych up dances that they do, when you're in football and you're talking to teams and you hold up each other and stuff. Yeah, that's what they do. They do a psych thing where they jog in place and they get themselves amped for taking down Vegeta and other people and other stuff. And it's kind of stupid actually because you don't really actually power up for that. But it's actually pretty funny to do that. And they present Frieza with the new model scatter in the universe as the Namekians and Vegeta and the others all destroyed the one that Frieza and his men had. So that was like a big time event for those guys. But yeah, this is kind of curious, but besides the one that the Union Force has, that's it only appeared that they present Frieza with one scouter to read power levels and read key signature and other stuff. I'm sure probably translated too on that. Which is weird because you would think that they would give him at least one more, for all this trip and probably cost a lot of money to buy a scouter for him. So they kind of wasted to present one scouter to Lord Frieza, master of the universe so far. So anyway, they do the little dance, they make love to get that night and everything else. So Frieza okay, you bunch of little schoolgirls, you my eighth mercenary squad. So then I like the way they do this little dance, and then they take off in sync with each other, and they take off and then they make me for Vegeta and others. That's pretty cool. Shows how they fly in formation and everything. It's pretty good the way you do that. Now also, let's note that these characters look amazingly like humanoid, with the possible exception of Gildo, in that he has 4 eyes, arranged like something like a spider. And it's actually pretty amazing the way that happened, and that all the other guys with the exception of horns on his head and everything, they look fairly human. Bertha may be a little bit reptilian, but you get the idea, it's like 90% human. Which is weird because you would think that being from outer space to be a lot more people that would be less human looking. But I suppose it doesn't matter at this point. So they show that Goku has some personal beef with Vegeta over his past history, and Frieza had to get Vegeta out of the little bell that he was gonna have. And Goku's like, lowly to you and blah blah blah, with the other shit towards Saiyans and all that. But Vegeta's like, get down because Master Frieza's behind you and stuff. And Frieza does block him with a bolt to show Vegeta, that even a little soldier like the Force is still gonna be executed by me if necessary. So you better watch your ass. Now, I like the way, he was like all braggadocious and stuff. But then the flashback, after Frieza giving the bolt treatment, Goku ends up kissing the floor, and Vegeta's standing like, ha 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 ha, like, I'll do whatever you say, Frieza, I'll step in the back. So it was like, thank God Frieza ended up coming up behind me. Otherwise it wouldn't be good. So anyway, that's thing about Frieza, he's ruthless and all this stuff, but he always portrays himself as being in a hollow pod, kind of like yoga, like with the king and all that, but yet with the cane to whip forward most people. As a Frieza, once he gets rid of the hovercraft or the hover wheelchair, he's a formidable foe and tightening his power. Speaking of which, I forgot what E23 member it was, but he used his discovery to say that Vegeta is such and such power level, and that the two links behind him are of similar power level. But they also say that Vegeta is not consuming his power at all. So I had no idea that a Skywalker had that ability to see if someone was hiding power level. I thought it was just like a beep beep beep, and then they'd be like 1,000 or 5,000 or even 9,000 power level, and that was it. It never said anything about hiding your power level or whatever. Or it's maybe a new model or something along those lines. So anyway, in any case, they took them beating Vegeta and the others to the punch to where Vegeta hit all the drug balls. And he says, ha ha, we beat you to it. Thank you for putting all these walls in one spot for me, Frieza, and all that. So anyway, they show off their different physiques for the Z people. I don't consider that part of that anymore. Right now, at this point in the story, but I think I would consider him more of a Z warrior during the time of Cell. When he fully gave himself to helping out people on Earth, saving the planet and such. I don't think now it's great that they get to get more of a selfish prick. But he wants to join the good guys to fight off a bigger threat and bigger prick. So anyway, they show off and stuff, the abilities and stuff, and then they show that Vegeta is very pissed off as per usual. So he takes his one saw ball and then he chucks it out the areas that the Guinea force will not be able to find it very easily because he can only find power levels and such by himself without a scouter where they need the technology to do so. And same with God and Colin. So anyway, in the Noodle Alliance, they're the one that can do it without any technology or scouters or anything, because they kept taking radar. So anyway, Joe took in the ball, saying, you could go to hell. So then he checked the ball out, and then Faithful Birder pitched the ball like super fast, like even faster than Gohan, and Vegeta can barely register it, because they got like Super Saiyan eyes and stuff, and they got Saiyan senses that are really powerful and really perceptive on things, and they react faster than any human can do so. So anyway, Burger comes back faster than anybody can turn around, and he said, good boy, Burger, good boy. I'll put the winky out of the balls. Which, by the way, I don't remember if there was or was not a little skeleton of a Namekian, I guess, lizard or something with Vegeta's stash of Dragon Balls. So I don't know if that was ever on Toriyama's part or something, but it's still pretty funny that he put a dead carcass of a extinct animal there in there. So anyway, Vegeta orders Krillin to destroy his own wall because he doesn't want the others to bring him all back to Frieza to wish for immortality, which makes sense. So anyway, I think he's like, if you can have it, I can't. No, if I can have immortality, nobody can. So he orders Krillin to destroy the ball. But the thing is that when he goes to punch the ball in, which I don't even know if will destroy a Dragon Ball. The only thing you can do is make him into stone and make him inactive for a year or so. But anyway, when you go to punch the ball, you find out that it disappeared from his hands. So it's like, where the hell did this ball go? I mean, the ball is bigger than Krillin's head. So where on earth did it go? Turned out that Yellow has the power to make to freeze time for an instant. A very local effect, by the way. And the only weakness to the attack is that he can do so only by holding his own breath. So in other words, he can't make Lord Frieza do, freeze up in time because he wouldn't last so long. And Frieza's too quick for him. Too quick for anybody over there. So anyway, they showed that Gildo has the Dragon Ball. And the ball itself is actually bigger than Gildo's head. And he's the only alien in the show so far who is incapable of using its cutter because of its third and fourth eye being right there. So that makes sense. But may I just say that I like the Guinea's uniform being a variant of the same armor, which is again a variant of Frieza's own skin and armor color, natural armor color, which just has the insignia of Captain Guinea's head in like a triangle formation. It could somewhat resemble the devil, like with the horn and everything. And that's pretty funny because that's supposed to be like the bad guys of a tough Frieza. So it's like the devil takes words from Frieza type thing. Anyway, I think it's a little bit, it made me a little uncomfortable seeing all these people with speedo bottoms, because it's all the fit members of the Union's force and Zarbon use speedos, whereas the more pudgy people, like the Doria and Godo over there, they use regular biosuits. And you could also put Rukuma in there too, because he's a beefy motherfucker. So I don't think this is a stylistic choice by Toriyama. God bless him for not giving Pudgy Boy a speedo, or just an error or something, or like in or design choice or whatever. But it's still kind of noticeable. But I'll see here now. The comedy was when they had Goku come close to the making air space, space, and it was funny because it said the computer told them that the ETA estimate time of arrival for him was 20 minutes from the time that from that point in space. So it was like pretty funny that he had to wake up using a alarm clock, conventional alarm clock, and then he had to wake up. He had to make sure to brush teeth. He had to make sure to drink hearty milk, and that's a big thing that he's kind of a lazy bum when it comes to waking up. That that he gotta try to cover his head up again under the covers. And I thought it'd be funny he had to wash up because God forbid he go to see Lord Frieza and find him and rescue his friends with plaque on teeth, and he had to wash across his eyes. And also, they do the little joke where he goes to his wardrobe on the ship, and the wardrobe is like 20 or so copies of the same uniform. Every inch, his pants, his shirt, his weighted boots, they're all the same. So that was a comedy thing from main technique to go cartoons and stuff. They would have like different they would like main copies of the same outfit, which is kind of funny. More of Toriyama borrowing from older tropes like cartoons, American cartoons and what. And also, I should point out that he has a big carton of milk right there in it. It's next to his big bite. And that's a bit pretty interesting that I think it was something like 95% of Asian people are lactose intolerant. So unless Goku wants to have more bulimia from the other end, he should drink less milk. Drink water or juices or some other because that will run through him if he is an Asian person. If it's supposed to be a Japanese character, I have to eat it up. Boy, that would be embarrassing. I didn't having to fight a raccoon or somebody else, and I say, wait a minute, I have to use the little boy's room, little Sam's room. And he runs off and he does business, and then they were to continue the fight. And I know that sounds gross and little party humor and stuff, but they did it on a Majin Buu arc many episodes in the future. So if it's looking for that, it's looking for you too. Anyway, you have to get ready and stuff and get dressed. Oh, in this 20 minutes. So I would think that if you were gonna face a big threat, rescue your friends, help out with dragon hunting, that kind of thing, I would think you would prepare for it like an hour at least. Have yourself good sleep, have a good meal, get ready, brush your teeth, clean up a little bit first, change your clothes, and do that in an hour's spend time. Otherwise, it's too little tight. So anyway, they showed that, you levitate all the walls, take away all the treasure that Vegeta and the others worked hard to get, just with some way, while the others are doing it. Rock, paper, scissors to divvy up who gets to fight the leagues and the Trunco Vegeta next. And then Yellow gets it because he has a personal beef with the other guys. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. And when Gohan and Krillin fight Kugo, he cut to black when they got to fire their beams at him simultaneously, and then later on they find out he's killed by Vegeta. Vegeta tends to have no mercy when it comes to the Ginyu Force. If you could fight to kill him without mercy, without them being able to defend themselves, because they invest him, they humiliate him in this big bad villain and such on Earth, and he made a big reputation being a horrible person and all that. And compared to Raccoon, let's say, his maximum power like 120, maybe 150,000 points. So it was like a big brick wall, a big stupid looking brick wall that could possibly be a game in. But I'm not gonna say anything, no judgment or anything. So yeah, he showed that, and he also showed that he was humiliated by Big planning it as a jerk ball, and then Berger cut the ball, caught it without any problems with it, and then he ran it back to Captain Genie with no problem. And the other guy, Gozo, got the ball from Krillin, even though Vegeta confirmed that he did in fact have the time powers. All that would change once Goku arrived and beat the ever-living shit out of the Ginyu Force. Effortlessly, except the captain himself. Also, for the same matter, is that later on in the episodes, it shows that Jason's mother kissed her, and Captain Ginyu. And even Ginyu does show up and say, quiet Jace, or it gets annoyed by Jace constantly kissing his little purple butt. That's very important to notice that they get sick of time right away. I thought it was just for that one episode where he shut up Jace, like shut up Meg, but in this case, like, yes, he did get annoyed by him right away. But anyway, I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. With what you're dealing with, and that's tip for me. I thank you for watching this Dragon Ball Z vlog with me tonight. I covered episode 23 of season 2 of Great Show. The name of it was New Ally, New Problem, which obviously the ally is Vegeta, and the problem is Vegeta Force. It was a great episode. When not, I'd probably give my happy face silver pull. Because this marks one of the first times, I want to change it to, it marks the first time where Vegeta isn't we start to transition from a bad guy to being a kind of a jerk anti-hero, to then transforming into a good guy. I think that it was also the fact that later on in the series when Bulma referred to Vegeta as a homeboy, and you're kind of cute. But I'll get into that when I get into that. Because I like the comedy with Goku. Made it lighthearted. Meanwhile, everyone else has all these problems and serious matters to attend to. Like Goofy Union Force. Which, by the way, I like the fact that those guys are very powerful, but they're insanely stupid when it comes to the choreography. To the point that even the boss would question, why the fuck do I hire these people? The jokers, the jesters, but they get the job done. I also find it interesting that each of their contrails are the same color, purple. Even though the skin tones are green, less colored, blue and orange, and purple. And I'm actually Captain Ginyu himself. So it's a very good, cohesive unit. And I wonder if any new recruit, number one, you have to go through Frieza, and number two, if they ever have to dye their contrails purple to match with Captain Ginyu. Anyway, if you like what you see here and you want more on my channel, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can contact me for future videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or you can follow me on Twitter or X at PMiltonPro. And my email is jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So, I just email that likes anime, like Dragon Ball Z in particular. Let me make a prayer to Made the tournament in the name of Akira, Goku, and the Holy Kamehameha. Amen. Peace be with you. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video. All you girls and guys in Interland. Sayonara and ciao ciao.